So what is leaky gut? Hey, it's Wendy Handy, wife, dog mom, functional medicine coach, entrepreneur, and lover of all things health and wellness. So what is leaky gut? You may or may not have heard of it, and you may or may not know what it is. In simple terms, it's tiny perforations in your gut lining that allow very small particles into your bloodstream that should not be there. And that can cause chronic inflammation. And it can also even lead to possible autoimmune response. And some of the symptoms that you may be feeling if you have leaky gut could be joint pain, inflammatory bowel syndrome, irritable bowel syndrome, inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, celiac disease, which is your sensitivity to gluten, allergies, recurring respiratory infections. That's a huge one too. You wouldn't think that, but your gut and your sinuses and your brain and everything are all connected. Actually, your gut, they say that your gut is where it's been said that's where all disease starts, is in the gut. It can also cause thyroid disorders. And again, back to autoimmune diseases like lupus and multiple sclerosis and type 1 diabetes, Hashimoto's. And it can even be contributing factor to Parkinson's disease or chronic fatigue syndrome. And even if you have a propensity to gain weight or and also even obesity. And although the leaky gut may not directly be the cause of these conditions, people that have their gut that's out of whack or that is, not their gut's not healthy, they're more likely to have a number of other health issues going on, since it's been said that most diseases or all diseases start in the gut. So what causes leaky gut? First and foremost, it's a poor diet. And, it's become so much easier over the years and the decades that we have pre-made, ready-made, easy go-to meals. And these are often loaded with, preservatives and pesticides and things that you can't even pronounce that should never be in your food, and certainly not in your gut or in your system. So that's the first and foremost, is a poor diet. And then, of course, not getting enough, of our leafy greens and vegetables in general. Then chronic stress. And I know this is a hard one, it's because certainly over the last 3 years, we've seen a lot of stress in our lives, and we almost always have stress. And it's okay to have stress. It's just when you have chronic stress over time, that's really hard on your gut, and that can cause leaky gut. Also an overload of toxins, which again, those pesticides on the foods from the conventional fruits and vegetables that you're eating, and also even drugs and alcohol. So antibiotics, aspirin, even if you don't do these things every single day, like the alcohol, the antibiotics, or the aspirin, over time, add it up, couple that with chronic stress, the poor diet, this can all lead to poor gut health or leaky gut. So next big question is, how do you get rid of it? First of all, you want to start removing toxic foods. So clean up your diet first and foremost, and replace it with clean, organic produce, whole foods. Shop around the outer edges of the grocery store, as Mark Hyman says. If you stay away from the aisles, you're probably pretty safe. So the outer aisles, that the produce is always there, and the dairy and those things and the fresh meats and vegetables. That's the other thing with meat. You want to make sure you're eating grass-fed, grass-finished beef, organic pasture-raised chicken when possible. I know it's hard to get it. And if you're going to eat fish, wild-caught fish. And so that's the first and foremost. And then you can also start with some probiotics. Now, this is a loaded one, and there are so many probiotics out there. You want to make sure that you find one that works for you, because everybody's gut is different and everybody's gut condition is different. So what might work for you may not work for somebody else, even in your household. And so that might be a little bit of trial and error trying to find the right probiotic. Bone broth is really very healing for the gut. And that can be, you can just drink that like a tea. Sometimes I just heat it up and drink it like a tea. Dr. Axe in Ancient Nutrition has a lot of flavored bone broths that you can drink. Chicken soup, and tomato basil, I think, is another one. And so they can be quite tasty. Fermented foods, if you like sauerkraut and kimchi, those are very healing for the gut. And also, whenever possible, reduce stress. And this one I know is a challenge. And yet, even if it's just going out to take a quick walk when you feel stressed, just do a little deep breathing, go for, or even pick up a book and read, meditate, whatever it works for you, just reducing that chronic stress. So I hope this has been helpful for you today. Share it with anyone that you know that might be suffering from leaky gut or might benefit from this information. And if you go ahead and download my 11 fat burning foods, you'll be added to my email list, so you'll never miss one of these blogs. And until next time, stay happy and healthy.